Welcome back to another Pokemon Falling Friday, home of the OG weekly market updates, where every Friday morning we go through last week's sales of sealed Pokemon products and Pokemon cards that are currently going down in price. And we do also cover any big Pokemon news like cards or sets that get revealed, which we got a bunch today. And we do have to do the question of the day. What is a Pokemon that is just super underrated that you guys would absolutely love to see get a special illustration rare? And we do have to give a big thanks to our video sponsor real quick, and that is Platinum Protectors. If you guys need cases for any type of collectible, Platinum Protectors has got you covered. They have cases for action figures, comic books, diecast, Funko Pops, trading cards, and video games. And when it comes to trading cards, they have so many different options. They even have stuff for Lorcana, One Piece. This is pretty much all I use for all of my sealed products. And then two, if you click my link in the description, you'll get 10% off your first order of $50 or more. So definitely check them out. And also, if you're going to grade through PSA for your first time, you can click my link in the description, use code BEARD25, and you get $25 off your very first submission, which is basically a free graded card, and I highly recommend grading yourself instead of letting someone like GameStop handle your cards. But all right, let's get to it. So we are on PokeBeach here. We got a bunch of secret rares from the new set Nullifying Zero, which is going to make up our perfect order set. So some very nice arts. Not the most popular Pokemon, but still some very cool ones. We got Aurorus here. I don't think you guys even understand. This Pokemon has been out for, I think, 12 or 13 years. And one of my all-time favorite Pokemon, literally in my top 10. And this is how many cards it has. So it literally just has these 3 arts in 12 or 13 years. So I am super excited that we got an Aurorus illustration rare in this set. And that's why it kind of bugs me when people say these new sets are just trash. A lot of these Pokemon, I mean, this is their best card ever. And it's not even close. Even Pokemon that have a lot more cards, a lot of these are their best cards ever. But let me know down below what you guys think of the set. We got a Dedenne. The Clefairy is very clean. The Tyrant, which is our promo for the ETB. Very realistic art there. Got the Raticate. Looks pretty nice. And here is the special illustration rares. We got the Mega Starmie. You know, the pictures are not the best, but I'm actually excited to see that one in person. I don't hate that Mega Evolution. I mean, it's definitely a little bit lazy, but I think it's kind of funny, so I kind of like it. Then we got the Mega Clefable. Not too bad. Got the Mega Zygarde. Got the Meowth. I'm going to guess the Meowth is probably going to be the most expensive special illustration rare in the set. And then our gold card is the Mega Zygarde, which I really do like the special illustration rare color-wise. Does look a little messy, but that's kind of a card you got to see in person. Actually reminds me of the new Pikachu that we're getting in Ascended Heroes. But yeah, definitely a very small set for sure. All right, let's get into it. There's not a ton of steel products. We got a bunch of cards, but most of the steel products are trending up. So here we have the Mega Evolution Enhanced Booster Box. Was at 222, went all the way back up to about 257. Now last sold 227, 240, 216, 239, 232. So coming back down. Next, we have the Crown Zenith Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box Plus. This thing just keeps slowly falling. Was at 448. Now last sold 370, 409, 390, 360, 390. Next, we have the Astral Radiance Pokemon Center ETB. This is at $175. Now last sold 149, 135, 137, 136. Next, we have the Chilling Rain Pokemon Center ETB. This is the Ice Rider Calyrex. This is at $195. Now last sold 160, 157, 155, 152. Next, we have the Mega Charizard X UPC. So the Costco restock just happened. I think you could get 2 of them for $80 each. So this box is definitely going to come down in price a little bit, which is very good because we're already super close to MSRP. Now that sold 130, 141, 117, 138. Another one at 142. Just wait till people actually receive those boxes, and this should definitely go down in price a little bit more. Next, we have the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center ETB. This is the Violet one. This is at $348. Now that sold 305, 299, 279, 272. Remember, this is the first ever Pokemon Center ETB that came with the 2 promos. One that has the stamp on it. Next, here is the Koraidon one. This was at $354. Now last sold 299, 269, 262, and a couple high ones at 329, but that was a while ago. So all the new ones are in the mid 200s. Next, we have the Samurott illustration rare. This was at $50. Now last sold 35, 36, 37. It's finally coming down in price. It's been holding its value very good. Next, we have the Cleffa illustration rare from Obsidian. This was a $28 card. Now last sold 16, 17, 18, and 16. Next, we have the Tepig. This was at $22. Now last sold 15, 15, 14, and kind of leveling out now. And then we have the Roaring Moon EX SIR. This was at $42 3 months ago. Let's check the 1 year high, which was $62, and this card was even more expensive than that before. Now last sold 32, 31, and 33. Next, we have the Superior EX SIR. This was $48. I think it was even a couple dollars higher. But now last sold 39, 40, 41. Next, the Genesect is dropping fast. This is at 59. If we check the 6 month, it was at 70. And the 1 year high, once it originally came out, was at about $79. Now last sold 45, 41, 39, 42. So that card is tanking. Next, we have the Keldeo EX. This is from White Flare. Same exact looking chart. Was at 65. Now last sold 46, 50, 44, and 48. Next, the Salamence EX just keeps kind of dropping. Last sold for this one now 55, 55, 68. Otherwise, most of them now are about 55 to about 58. And we have the Mega Absol EX. Tried to hang on. And this card is done by Arita, so I'm a big fan of this card. This was at $97 3 months ago. Now last sold 55, 45, 44, 63. Next, Ethan's Ho-Oh EX was at $240. Now last sold $130, $139, $129. And then we have the Mega Lucario EX. This is at $281. Now last sold, someone got 6 of them at $180, which is crazy because there's a ton of listings at about $150. So I have a feeling some people might try to hype this card back up. We do have a couple low sales here, one at $133 and $139, but most of them were at about $150. Next, we have the Reshiram from White Flare. This was about a $200 card. Now last sold $150, $148, $144, $142, $139. Next, we have the Zekrom from Black Bolt. This is a $250 card. Now last sold $210, $200, $198, $199, $195, $190, $189. And then we have the Team Rockets Mewtwo EX. This is at $582, which I'm pretty sure is the high. Yep, $584. Now last sold $396, $394, $387. We got a couple $250 sales, which does not seem correct. Probably the Japanese version or something, because that's just crazy low. Next, we have the Umbreon EX from Prismatic. This was at $1,200. Now last sold $999, $939, $950. It did drop to like $850 and then went back up to like $1,000. And, you know, now it's in like the mid 900s. And there's a bunch of low sales here, $250, $250, $250, $250. Now remember, that's going to bring the graph down. That's going to make it look all messed up. So I like to show those just so you guys know what's happening. Next, we have the Mega Lucario EX from Mega Evolution, the gold card. This is at $542. Now last sold $290, $289, $295. So finally in the 200s. Next, we have the gold Mega Gardevoir. This was at $540. Now last sold $232, $239, $235, and $260. Next, we have the white Reshiram, the white full art. This is at $371. It looks like it's bouncing back a couple dollars and leveling out, but last sold $340, $350, $343, and $334. And here's the black Zekrom. This is at $475. Now last sold $299, $362, $396, $350. So still very expensive. They're holding their value like crazy. Next, just got a couple alternate arts. We got the Sylveon V. Was at about $165. Now last sold $141, $125, $129, $100, $132. Next, we got the Sleepy T-Tar. This is at $287. Now last sold $195, $182, $215, $181, $205. Next, the Umbreon V alternate art. This thing got so expensive. It was just crazy. This got all the way up to $675. And this was literally like $100-something card back in the day. Now last sold $295, $298, $282, $281, $350, $275. Next, the Glaceon VMAX. This is one of my favorite ones, just because it literally has an Eevee and a Pikachu in there. I just feel like that's insane, and I always feel like this card is one of the most slept-on alternate arts we actually have. So this is at $300. Now last sold $255. 285, 266, 270. Next, the Leafeon VMAX. This was at 385. Now last sold 320, 349, 335, 305. And the big boy, the Rayquaza VMAX. This was at 705. Now last sold 665, 699, 660, 694, 664. Next, the Rayquaza VMAX Trainer Gallery. This got all the way up to $140, and this is the most expensive Trainer Gallery card now. If we go back 6 months, the high was about 148. Now last sold 92, 90, 112, 105, 96. So if it's in the low to mid 90s, it's right there with the Starmie. Next, a couple older cards. We got the Shining Jirachi. This was at $37. Now last sold 25, 29, 22, 24. And here's the Shining Arceus. This was at $28. Now last sold 24, 23, 25. It's dropping a couple dollars. And the Shining Genesect also. This was a $14 card. Now last sold 10, 9, 11. Very cool cards. They have really nice texture. Next, we have the Amazing Rares. We have the Celebi. This is at $9. Now last sold 3, 5, 4. All the Amazing Rares except the Rayquaza are, very, very cheap again, and they all came right back down in price. Here's the Jirachi also. This is a $7, $8 card. Now last sold 3, 5, 1 at 6. Next, we have the Mega Charizard X EX promo from the UPC. This is at $76. Now last sold 30, 28, 31. Now this card should drop even more now that Costco did their drop for the UPCs. And as soon as people get those, especially for how cheap they were, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to open those and, chase the Charizards, and you're getting the promos and stuff. But I could see this card even dropping below $20 once all those hit the market, which I'd definitely love to pick up a few of them when that happens. Next, we have the Oricorio EX, and especially this card. $37 for this card, and now last sold 11, 10, 9. Remember, this is done by Shinji Kanda, so I really hope this card gets down to like $5, $6, $7. I will literally buy like 50 copies. Next, got a couple tag teams. Here's the Pikachu and Zekrom GX. This is the non-textured one. This was about $40. Now last sold 31, 29, 25, 26, 35. And here is the Magikarp and Wailord GX tag team, also non-textured. Was at about 94. Now last sold 73, 72, 69. Next, here is the Moltres Zapdos Articuno tag team full art with that silver background. This is at $54. Now last sold 31, 27, and 24. Next, we have a couple Japanese cards. Here's the Team Rockets Mewtwo EX. So this was at $199. Now last sold 114, 115, 112. Next, the Pikachu. This was at $217. Now last sold 166, 171, 185, 170. And the Mega Dragonite. This was at $308. Now last sold 204, 190, 195, 181. And here's the Gold Mega Dragonite. This is at $492. Now last sold 243, 245, 237. And then we have the Mega Gengar EX. This is the most expensive SAR on the set. It was at $600. Now last sold 329, 289, 310, and 295. And I don't know why I put this at the end, but this was supposed to go with the sealed products in the beginning. But here is a bunch of the perfect order Pokemon Center ETBs and ETBs and stuff and booster boxes on 130 point. So this is sold listings from eBay. So we somehow have a Pokemon Center ETB that was listed at 100 that sold for 66, which is crazy. Next, we have another one here at 107, another one at 100. We got a booster box here at 160. And by the way, $100 for a Pokemon Center ETB is the cheapest Pokemon Center ETB that we have gotten in a very, very long time on the secondary market. But yeah, best offer accepted for that booster box at 160. It was listed at 215. Another Pokemon Center ETB at 115. Booster bundle at 45. Pokemon Center ETB at 90. Here we got two Pokemon Center ETBs and two booster bundles, 325. Looks like we got a regular ETB at 100. Two Pokemon Center ETBs at 280. And we got a booster box here at 204. Another Pokemon Center ETB at 120. Booster box at 225. Booster box here at 150, which seems crazy. Another Pokemon Center ETB, $81. Booster bundle, $32. So this is definitely going to be the cheapest set that we have had in a very, very long time, which honestly I'm happy about. It's been a while since we've had stuff that's actually somewhat decently priced on the secondary market, so I'll take it. That's the same thing with the Mega Charizard UPC. A lot of people are not even like looking at those, but that's the first thing we've had in a long time that's like right at MSRP, and if you buy a decent amount of them, you can definitely get it, below MSRP, which I'm all about. But all right, that was today's Pokemon Falling Friday, and if you guys really do want to actually learn something and, learn about a bunch of cards that a lot of people do not know about, to where you could potentially pick up, looks like a common card, but it's worth $40, definitely check out my Throwback Thursdays. I promise you'll learn the most out of pretty much any other Pokemon YouTube videos you're going to watch. You're going to be learning about a ton of new cards that you've probably never seen. So definitely check out my Throwback Thursdays. Every single Throwback Thursday, we look at a set, and then we also highlight a certain Pokemon. We look at their best cards in Pokemon history. This week we did Snorlax, and he literally has a holo rare card, just a basic holo rare that's worth like $30, $40 that I feel like a lot of people do not even know about. So definitely check those out. Then, of course, if you guys want to stay ahead of the market and you guys enjoy this content, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a like and comment. If you guys want to support more, you guys can check out my Instagram, my TikTok, my Facebook, YouTube membership, PSA link, all that. You guys know what to do. You guys are the best. But all right, I want you guys to have a great day. Like I said, if you guys want to go watch my last Throwback Thursday and learn some stuff, click this video here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.